Did it?
Tastes like city water.
Oh.
A little chlorine never hurt anyone.
Ew.
Sketchy cross, dude. Look at this. You can't see him till right there. Fog lights on. Flashers on. The fog is like messing up my focus too. Oh, welcome. It is well into the afternoon, like past 4:30, almost 5, and I have not done an update. Didn't leave Skyland till about noon. Took advantage of that room until 11, and then kind of was dragging my feet. Just didn't want to hike. Haven't had one of these days in a while, but I think the heat finally caught up to me, and the weather is honestly amazing. It might rain in a little bit, but like it's kind of just been misty, foggy, and the temperatures are so cool. So my energy is actually pretty good. My body is pretty good. Mentally, I'm rested. 2 really good nights of sleep, 1 in my tent, 1 indoors. So everything in that regard is good. I just I don't know if the heat just wore me down, and I was just like, man, I do not want to hike. And occasionally you have those days, and I definitely had one this morning. But I'm already 10 miles in, and it was kind of like 10 miles without effort. I was walking with Big Lug for a while, talking about fantasy football, and I was also met another hiker, Cricket, and he just got off at the last gap. He's doing like a maybe 550 miles, something like that section, and so he's been moving through the Shenandoahs. And aside from yesterday, I have 2. Like by 7:30 I'll get to this wayside. They won't be open, but they have water, and that'll give me almost 20. And I'm not sure what my plan is when I get there, but I was kind of just gonna fill up water and maybe find some place to camp. He was going to a hostel, and I kind of was just like, man, I know I just stayed indoors, but a hostel sounds nice instead of tomorrow for tonight, just because of I was in that kind of mood. And yeah, I don't know though, my morale, like I want to see this thing through. Its morale is good. I just, today itself, I did not want to hike. That's the only way I could have put it. And yeah, just been in a weird mood. Honestly, like since we all left, there's like bathrooms and water. And I pulled ahead a Big Lug, and he was waiting to get picked up from the hostel. Since we left there, maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles ago, I just kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna go at like a pretty big pace and see how quick I can get to this wayside, which was like 8.8 from back there. And that's kind of woke me up. Sometimes when I'm in that weird mood, I just need either a climb or to just be like, all right, dude, go to your pace when you push it. And sometimes that helps me just get going and get through that weird, I don't want to hike mood. So yeah, loving the weather. The weather has been awesome. Ate a big breakfast. I've definitely spent a good amount of money in the Shenandoahs, but when you hit a wall and there's food and you're lacking calories, sometimes you just got to go for it. So I did. The sleep last night was like unbelievable. Air conditioning, nice comfy bed. So even though it was a little pricey, splitting it and then the food, it's kind of what I needed. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing tonight. As I said, I can set up camp. It sounds like there's a couple stealth spots past this wayside, or there is a hostel in Luray that has availability, and hitch into there, and that would just swap out the Front Royal hostel for that one tonight. If I really wanted to do that, I could just kind of, it's the same price. I was going to spend 40 tomorrow and swap it out for tonight if I'm really in that mood. But I'm going to get these miles, see how I feel, see how the rain holds out, and then yeah, no matter what, whether it's Luray or front royal, then it's just a quick push. I'm only like 4 days away from pulling into Harper's Ferry, so that will lighten my spirits. Keep going back and forth on how long I want to stay with Big Lug and his family, and I'm just gonna take it as a day-by-day decision, or you know, it's definitely gonna be 1 day off, possibly 2. You've heard all this before. That's where I'm at today though, just kind of dragging my feet, man. I could just sit in this chair. I was in the lobby downloading podcasts, charging my phone after we checked out, and yeah, it was a tough one to get going. And then the first 9-10 miles were just enjoyable but slow going, so picked up the pace, and it's the same boring green tunnel Shenandoahs. So yeah, that is where I'm at. That's where my head's at. The state of wonder, bro. Physically feel good, slept good, mentally feel good. Just didn't want to hike. Would love to do something else, anything, you know, go on a car ride, go to a concert, watch TV, even do something active that's just not hiking. This is the reality of day 62, and you do the same thing. So this is really where the mental game kicks in. How bad do you want it? Push through these days and get closer and closer to looking forward to something that is further up the trail. All right, that's it for now. Turkey just hiding there, kind of moving. Oh, hello. It is me again. So I'm about a mile-ish, probably just over, from Elk Wallow Wayside. As I mentioned earlier, it will be closed, but in this somewhat rainy weather, kind of rained on and off, very light, and it's welcomed after that heat wave. And I don't think yesterday, I think I said yesterday, even though I did that 9 miles, it was like in the 80s. I think it was back in the 90s. I got a different weather report than what I was told from someone else. Anyway, it was still hot and I had to hike. I didn't have to, but the way it ended up, I hiked through the hottest part of the day. It was only 9 miles, but still mileage, exhaustion, heat. So this weather is very much welcomed. And yeah, it never really opened up. My clothes didn't get soaked from rain, just from sweat. And it has been easy, cruisy Shenandoah Trail. And I am going to stop at this wayside, even though it's not open, because they have an awning, I believe, that I could hang out in case it does rain. And I can eat, and they have water in the back that I don't have to filter. And I did order a new filter. Big Lug is nice enough. He ordered me a few things on Amazon and his family's gonna bring it. So I got a new tripod, which I have been getting a couple shots, but it is now a bipod. And then the broken leg I kind of can jam under there. But it takes me a long time to set up, which when it's 95 plus is not fun. But yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna eat there. I don't believe I am going to go to that hostel. It was tempting, but that was just my mood today. Like, I just, as I said, anything other than hiking is what I wanted to do when I set out. But this wayside will give me 18 miles, so I kind of fought through it, and the second half was easier because I picked up the pace, and that kind of woke me up. And now I have a nice, easy, joyous hike into this this wayside. And then I think there's some stealth camping like a mile and a half past it, but the fact that I'll have eaten and have water to fill up without filtering it will make it just easy to get there, throw my stuff down, set up, and get ready for bed. So yeah, I don't know how else to explain this day. I really am rested, like 2 really good nights of sleep, no aches, no pains, just basically my brain is just like, dude, what are we doing? We've been hiking every day, and when I do take a 0 day, it's nice and relaxing, but I'm editing videos and doing chores. Even like yesterday was a short day. I didn't really edit much. I ended up uploading 1 video, but just the chores you have to do, and by the time you get food in town and shower and hang your clothes up to dry, the day goes by really quick. So I mentioned this a few days ago, I'm definitely ready for a few days away from hiking, away from the trail, and forget about it. So I keep saying I don't know what I'm going to do in Harper's Ferry in terms of how I'm staying, because I don't. I like to be spontaneous and do what I feel, but the big break will be with family, and I can even go down the Jersey Shore. I've had a house in the family since I was a kid. In fact, since my dad was a kid, it's been in the family, so that would be relaxing, and food, and I would be way away from the trail there. I would just be that weird, although I guess I wouldn't be smelly because I would probably get some deodorant, but just some guy wearing a bandana and having a big beard, and I can forget about the trail life for a while. So I'm leaning towards that. I'm for sure going to stay at my brother's house that's right off trail, and it's just a question of how many days I want to stay away. But I've said all this in previous days. I'm just reiterating it because I am a little burnt out, and I'm just in need of a break from either thinking about water sources and how far I'm going today and mileage, or where my next town meal is, or when am I taking my next 0 to relax and edit. And I think anywhere from 4 to 6 days off would do me real good. And so that's why Harper's Ferry would be nice, but then it's like less than 350 miles from Harper's Ferry to see family. So yeah, I am ready for that. I think Harper's Ferry is 0 day and some good food will recharge me, and then I can just put my head down and get those 300 something miles done, and then just enjoy a break, not think about the trail at all, and then come back refreshed and have the end in sight, because that'll be close to mile 1400 by the time I get off trail. And yeah, then you know, I don't want to say the final push, but it'll be kind of starting to count down from there, and seeing that the finish is a reality, because I do think about finishing, but for quite a while, actually this whole time, it really hasn't been a reality because it's so far off, and you can't worry about that. You got to kind of worry about each day or each section from this town to that town, or sometimes it's just climb by climb if you're having a rough day. But yeah, the week off, and I'll have more to say about this when I don't know if I do a segment at the halfway point or when I'm done with the trail, but I think unless you're a certain breed that's very rare, I think if you're doing a long distance hike, you should plan for at least one extended break. Not too long, you don't want to get too comfortable and too soft, but one where you kind of just, you know, even athletes need the all-star break, get away, go on vacation. I guess if you're an all-star, you don't get a break, but you get endorsement deals then, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's how I feel. Just kind of a nice halfway to almost 2/3 way break and just clear my head, and then come back and be motivated to hike again. All right, I'll be at this wayside shortly. So we got some more dream trail here, just like AI generated, perfect trail. Oh buddy. Not all the Shenandoahs looks like this, but there is some of it that does. And boy, is it nice. All right, Elk Wallow wayside, got Wi-Fi. It was getting dark. It's been kind of raining, so we found a little stealth spot not far off the trail, and I think away from the road and trail enough to be within regulations of the park. And yeah, I got a rainy, misty shot of my tent, and I'm tired. I wasn't that hungry. Ate a huge breakfast and then bars throughout the day, but didn't do a wrap for dinner. Had some Snickers, some olive oil, so that's concerning. I don't know if it's my stomach or my appetite or what, but you know, I haven't done that much where I don't eat a proper dinner. But I'm getting into Front Royal tomorrow, so town meal again, which I think I desperately need. And once I get to Harper's Ferry, I'm gonna kind of reassess my diet and my plan. But I'm sick of this light in my face, and I'm tired, and I want to get an early start. 5:30 in the morning alarm. That's where I'm at. All right.